Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back. We're doing another video, and today the gatekeeping is over. I'm gonna show you guys all the tips and tricks on how to do your automotive drawing. Most of it is going to be more of the actual lining work. We're not going to do coloring today. We're not going to focus on that. We're mostly just going to focus on the foundation because, in my opinion, that's the most valuable aspect of the part of the drawing, because you can color and shade all day, but if you don't have the proportions correct, it may not look realistic. So today we're going to try to get those angles today, and we're going to go through the gridding technique, and I'm going to tell you two different type of ways you can grid your artwork. It'll either be measurement based, whether like specific inch to inch, or just general proportions where you're out and about and you're trying to get the best proportion of your drawing, whether you're out drawing something on the subway, or a coffee shop, who knows. But we're going to do that today. So I already went ahead and gridded my paper today, and we'll just start with explaining that. Alright, so today we're going to be drawing this. So technically, while I'm doing this video right now, I don't even know what the drawing's really going to look like. I kind of know, of course, because it's after a photo I took, but this is literally going to be exactly what I'm showing you how to do. I don't want to end up drawing something beforehand and then doing a second time and having it look different. I want it to be exactly for you guys. So starting off, you guys can see here's the photo. I started off by gridding it. So when I said there's two different ways to grid stuff, you can literally grid the whole entire paper and grid the whole entire drawing or the whole entire photo in one. Or you can be more specific toward the placement of your canvas. And you ask, what do you mean by that? So what I would normally do is you would take the photo, and then if you have a physical copy, maybe even on your phone, I'll even use a post-it note if I got one, and you'll use your phone, right? And you say, use your phone, what do you mean? So when people think of gridding, they usually think, oh, it's got to be a half inch, it's got to be a solid inch, and these squares got to be even. Well, not necessarily. So when I come to the paper here, I think about placement. Like, I really want it to be right in the center. So I make my lines. I want it to start here, and I want it to finish here. I'm not going to go as far as doing the top and bottom for the first lines. I'm just doing right line, left line. And then from there, you're going to go to your photo, right? I'll actually pull my phone out here. Try to do this real quick, save some time. Here's what you do. You take this, a post-it note, something cheap, just $1, anything from the store, end to end, right? You're going to take it end to end of your drawing. I don't know if you can see it on your phone, but front of the car, back of the car, right? Just mark it. Regular pencil. And then on your post-it note, fold it in half, right? And then fold it half again, but like look up at it in the light and like try to see through it and match it up. The lines that you made, put them and bring them together, and then just keep folding it in half. I'd say 3 times, 2 times. So you kind of get the idea. There's from the post-it note, but I'm doing it from a different larger perspective I have on my computer actually. So this is a little bit bigger idea of transferring. So you would look at the post-it note and then look on your phone, and you can kind of see where these lines would be, and you would basically use them as medians. When you fold the paper, what you're trying to do is find the center of each line. So when you keep folding and folding and folding, they're all equidistant from each point so that it is a square. And you use that to find, rather than a ruler, to be a little bit more specific. Once you have this all gridded out, I did not spend all the time marking the whole entire paper. I did not spend the time marking up the whole entire photo. So at the end of the day, I'm saving time and only grading the area which is most difficult, the car, which I need all the angles, I need precision. So when it comes to drawing, I'm going to do this for beginners, so it's very scratch. You really want to be able to tell the difference. I kind of think of it as percentages, or like halves or thirds or fourths when you're looking at these squares. When you look at your photo source and you see lines start from in between squares and stuff, you want to think of it as it intersects maybe half of the square or a quarter of the square. You know, you really want to compare it and really know where your lines are to really make it perfect and accurate. So I was thinking to myself earlier, like, I really don't use this gridding a lot, mostly because I don't have a lot of commissions. I mostly just do stuff for myself and for fun and for friends and family. So I figured if I'm going to teach somebody how to do something, I'm going to teach them how to do it from scratch in the right way. So now that you have this grid, I ended up with a 4x8. Of course, it's not perfect. I didn't take a ruler. I just took a straight edge off of another piece of paper, actually, basically cardboard, and lined that stuff up. So from there, we're pretty much going to get going. And you pretty much are breaking up the drawing into smaller portions and looking at it that way instead of looking at it the whole entire drawing. And another thing about drawing these things is you really have to have patience. I've been drawing for a very long time. I really can't tell you. I'm 25 at the time now, and shoot, as soon as I could remember, I was drawing stuff. So the amount of experience and time I have is going to take me a lot less time it's going to take for most people, but you really want to try to be specific and hard on yourself at these very early stages of your drawing, because the lining is everything. So another question people have for me is, like, how do you end up making the actual grid? Now, what I prefer to do is I prefer to do it digitally and maybe upload a grid and put it on Photoshop and make the background transparent, however you want to do it, and lay it out and box it up like that. Or you could physically do it with straight edges if you want to print out the paper, or if you even want to go to Walgreens and print out a little photo for 50 cents, I don't know, nowadays, and then you can use that and then line that up. There's very multiple ways you could do this, so I'm not saying this is the way or this is how to do it, but this is just my way and what I've learned throughout time. I do have actually slight art teaching experience, and I've done some commissions, but I haven't really pushed a lot for it recently in time. I just have so many hobbies. I'm here. I mean, just look at my YouTube channel. A lot of different things going on here. So, all right, so let's begin. So one thing I really want to explain is that from the A-pillars to the wheels, usually they match up, or they're usually roughly to the center where the rim is from a factory standpoint. This car that I am drawing is on complete aftermarket suspension. It is Adam LZ's fully built drift car, so obviously some proportions with the suspension and the rest of the chassis are not going to be aligned. But if you're drawing factory cars, stuff with factory suspension, usually that lines up because they're all off of baselines when they make the cars to begin with. So a lot of the angles that you really want to look at are the A-pillars of the cars to find out where they align with what the wheels, to find the vertical aspect and the lower aspect. We really just want to look at the height. You can see on our comparisons on the drawing with the grid we made that it's about a little bit over one grid block width. It's roughly an inch. I'm not gonna say it is. I haven't put a ruler to it. I don't have a ruler at the moment, so I'm going without. But yeah, so it's roughly 2 inches high but 8 inches long. So that's really what you're looking at, is this area for your grid. So what we're gonna do right now is just erase. We're just gonna erase what we don't need. The rest of this outside, and then I just got a kneaded eraser. Any type of eraser is fine. I'm not usually picky. I just like a kneaded eraser just because you could really put it to whatever angle you want. I do have other erasers that are a little bit more pinpoint if I'm looking to erase a lot darker areas. But all these drawings I usually would start in an HB pencil, I would recommend. But everything on the inside I would just keep gridded for right now up until you have all your details, and then I would worry about erasing the rest of the grid, but only erase what you really don't need. So let's continue. And then when I do wheels, I really look at the actual drawing itself, and I like to just almost make a square. I see where the top aligns, I see where the bottom aligns, and I kind of go from there and make the rim from there. I go back and forth from the drawing, There's the top of the rim, there's the bottom of the rim, and I'm not even talking about the tire itself, just the rims. And then you kind of see where it all lines up, and you can see in the, you can actually see in the drawing in this square in the photo that the rim starts right before this line right here on the second box. So we're just gonna color that in, and then that's where we start the circle. Now, I can go all day about circles. I'm not the best circle drawer. I could show you how to draw a perfect circle, but that is not what I am here for today. We're just gonna do all the slight details. Now, I'm not currently gonna do all the little Drift HQ banners and all that stuff. I'm not gonna go through that tutorial. You guys kind of see the gist, the flow. You just basically fill in what you see and be very hard on yourself about the lines. Like you can kind of see down here, this is about 50% through this box here, and this is about like maybe an eighth, but you really want to look at these lines for perception. So all right, well, I'm gonna get to finishing the details. Now here we pretty much have the basic line work. We are pretty much done as far as with the pencil work. We know where everything is going to be, and this is where I would usually start with color, whether you want to do watercolor, marker, color pencil, pastel. I've seen a lot of different, options. Some people even use spray paint or spray markers. I've seen Copics, Prismacolor. Your brand, all up to you what you want to do. But this is usually where you would start your drawing, where you would start your artwork. Of course, there are a lot more details in the livery and in the wheels and everything else. But I will finish that up in another video. I was thinking about doing more of a color-specific video. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I'll add a couple more details in the next one. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. So this is just basically just on proportions. If you guys really like this video, I'll make another one on coloring it. But this obviously is not a finished product. This is something to get you started to make something you own. Obviously, I don't want people copycatting each other and doing exactly what I do, but if you really do want to follow along exactly how I did it in my drawing, I didn't exactly do step by step, but I pretty much explained the geometry of how to properly assemble your lines and get everything together to get your artwork together. So this is basically my interpretation of the most important part of putting your artwork together. So thank you guys again for coming along for another video. So all right, guys, let me know if you guys need anything else in the comments. Let me know if there's any other questions you guys might have for me, or any other details I might have missed as far as proportions go. All right, guys, peace.